He's not all about that experience, no, he's pretty fresh, but what he does have is a raw mechanical talent to carry him this far into the EU scene. And, well, let's just put it this way. If you've made it this far in Europe as a tank, you are damn good. Because you don't get anywhere as an average tank in Europe, because you are going up against the best of the best. Looks like British Hurricane, they're coming out with a Reaper, and they're coming out with Sooner on the Tracer. Sooner actually played Tracer for his previous team, Young and Beautiful, in the last season of Contenders. And though they weren't overly successful as a team, Sooner's Tracer was one of the bright spots.
Well, there will be monkey on monkey, or JK Low on Bok at the moment, who does end up going down first. But look at how much chase they're giving to JK Low. Happy-Cool and the rest of the DPS of British Hurricane chasing him down. As soon as JK Low uses that mobility, that leap, he's going to put himself in an awkward spot. He can't have that Lucio to escort him out. But Shoes Money Crew are going to put themselves on point, regardless of losing their main tank, and might just find the cap as well.
A precise dive deserves a precise punishment. Numlocked will try and make the space, but not in time to deny the cap over from Shoes Money Crew.
Because you are pummeling away at tanks as well if you're on this trace. You build out the pulse bomb so fast. Barbecue is going to take out Zander though. So 1 for 0 for Raid. Make that a 2 for 0 as Jofi ends up going down as well. Happy Cool swiftly Delta card as Barbecue does chase him off the map. And now we'll still see Shoes Money Crew holding the point. We'll see if British Hurricane want to make any swaps, although wanting to maybe to get that EMP online first and then change something up a bit later.
Well, we highlighted earlier, George, JK Law versus Numlocked. Look at the discrepancy in ult charge at the moment. Numlocked only 31%. He's not being able to get much done in these previous fights, being shut down very quickly or booped away by the multiple abilities that Shoes Money Crew have to displace an incoming Winston.
Yeah, alongside that, you've got to think of how he's going to be playing in this comp. There's so much healing that is required on these DPS heroes. Not quite enough for Daned right now, as does Slur does take his head off. However, a res does come through. Daned is so close to that EMP as well, only 10% away. Happy Cool as well, 10% away from that rocket barrage. JK Low ends up going down. No res on the side of Shoes Money Crew, and Daned just chasing 2 people away on his lonesome. Self-destruct onto the point from Barbecue to clear some people out as Sooner and Daned end up falling.
Sooner not going to find himself in a great position there, and now an Unlocked, he's being rounded upon, Jules.
Uh-oh. Well, you got to get out there. Happy Cool rather fast. Got EMP, Harry. They got Barrage. They got Pulse Bomb. They just need to hit Q. That's all they need to do.
They've got everything they need, but they do not have the survivability. They don't have much. Bucket's going to have to try and keep them alive with that Transcendence, but Transcendence has a very limited vertical hitbox. Happy Cool's going to have to get incredibly low with that Transcendence if he wants to be able to use that Barrage from a safe position.
Oh, Daned posturing himself for an EMP. Does manage to find one, but Mao's quickly dispatches him in. Now Happy Cool lays down that barrage, but Mao's just right behind him. Almost 100 energy on the Zarya, making quick work of Happy Cool and Yofi. And now Shoes Money Crew activating the beat for the last final percent. A Transcendence will save them for the time, but that perfect bubble coming through from JK Low to split off the healing and carve through every member of British Hurricane. Now it's Daned. He's on the ball. He's trying to stall for some additional time, but Shoes Money Crew come out the gate swinging. And 99% to 0. They just need to kill the last couple of members of Hurricane, and it'll be all over.
3-3 with the Winston, 2 survivable for British Hurricane to really chew through there. They may have their fangs out, but their fangs right now, they've been filed down, and so has Bucket.
Oh,
maybe not.
Oh, I don't know about that one. Bok, 1v1 in JK Low in the front line. Can't get a 2 ahead of yourself, my son. Numlocked is going to go down as well as Sir gets a little bit of revenge for him. We'll ignore that one. That won't go in the highlights, Harry. Don't worry.
Yeah, that one's not going in the highlights. But like I said before, there needed to be some communication there between Bok and Happy Cool to protect Farah during that barrage. Because, of course, during barrage, you throw out a lot of damage. You throw out 4,000 damage overall, but you only have 200 health and you're stuck in one place. And when you're looking at a high charge Zarya, she can take you down in about a second and a half, even quicker if she hits a couple of mortars as well. So there needs to be communication that Bucket was in position for that Transcendence, or that Numlock could put a shield over Happy Cool, because it was a bit of a haphazard approach. There was no protection available for him. It was like, oh, Daned's EMP'd, guess I better barrage. Didn't work out.
No one's got any abilities, Harry, but
they've got their primary fire.
Mao's had his primary fire. So, you know, we all know how that worked out. They're going to go for the same kind of thing, but instead this time it's quad DPS. Only one healer. Bok, technically a healer. He's got Biofield, of course. So if they want to be able to get high ground here, just make use of Soldier's range.
Can no longer be solo dived by JK Low. Can just run away now and say, look, Shoes Money Crew really want to control the high ground here. Don't want to give Bucket that sight line.
Well, Daned's already dead. Sommer's quite self-sustaining as well. Very slippery to get your hands on, but not for Mouse, apparently. It does manage to find the solo kill, of course. Bot going extremely low as Happy Cool and Sooner. They're all trying to chase JK Lowell out of the building, but he's going to receive a whole lot of healing and a defense matrix. Not quite enough, though, as Happy Cool does end up getting the kill, but Slow is going to pay that back in kind, taking out Happy Cool. With the res, though, does bring him back into the fight. So right now, Hurricane, regardless of their point status, they still have a man advantage.
Gustav there was caught out trying to facilitate the retreat of JK Lowell with that speed boost. Pocket managed to catch him, and now Barbecue just going to feed onto the point, trying to make sure they can get every last percentage point, but Hurricane look like they're in pretty good shape right now.
Yeah, JK Lowell's actually back in on the point. Doesn't quite have Primal Rage just yet. 77%. Very, very close. Does get taken out by Danid in the end. A small arms fire up against the massive head hitbox of Winston. Just kills him rather fast.
Not fan of Sooner picking up that health pack there. I would have preferred to have had him wait for Yofi, potentially go back to pick him up, allowing for that additional health charge. You've got to get that Valkyrie, especially when you're only running a solo healer. That Valkyrie is so valuable for you. But Numlock can dive very deep now without needing the healing. So that's a Primal Rage to facilitate the deeper dives.
Look at this DPS swap up for Shoes Money Crew. Polly now on the Sombra. Justice Wall Rain, bruv, from a Happy Cool. Finally finds 2 picks, Harry. He got it. He walks out for primary fire this time. It's okay. He learned his lesson. And Bok is going to learn his rather swiftly as well. But Yofi is at his back with the healing aura.
Good defensive shield from Numlock too.
Yeah, that indeed. He has a tactical visor there as well. Trying to stagger Barbecue as much as they can, of course.
And that tactical visor will be very good, especially if you're trying to shut down Slur. Even while he uses Coalescence, Slur will be very easy to track with that tactical visor. Can mean that you shut down the ultimate incredibly effectively, because the self-healing isn't as great as the beam healing would give you credit for. Polly is going to be sneaking around. He's going to report back on the situation of Numlock, as well as tell everyone where that pharmacy up in the air is. So the Rocket Trails will kind of betray that. Danid here is going to be the primary engager with the CMP.
Oh, Danid will try to find the hack onto Barbecue. Isn't going to quite get it. Slur is going to get hacked, however. Danid, yeah, I think he got hacked himself. He dived. Yeah, I'm not. Oh, he did EMP, okay, but he ended up instantly dying. I'm not entirely sure what happened there, Harry. There's a lot of fire going on. Danid is going to get rezzed, however, so at least he's back into the fight. 75% now for British Hurricanes. They cleared the last remaining members of Shoes Money Crew out.
Low value engagement there from Danid. Got a little bit greedy. Tried to get the early hack onto Barbecue so that potentially there'd be less follow-up to try and protect people from the EMP. Bucket's still on the high ground. You're right. Has got that tactical visor. I think he's going to try and use it to shut down Slur's Coalescence, which he may well use as an anti-air tool to try and blast Happy Cool out of the air, because it does not suffer from damage drop-off, and the beam allows you to utilize tracking very well for damage.
Got to be careful. There's the Coalescence box. There was tactical visor. In the words of Atlas back in Apex, he's got beautiful tracking, trying to get on the ground, but most of that getting eaten up by the defense matrix. Barbecue going extremely low. Does get demech'd. Might just use the self-destruct to remech. Although not quite just yet. They are going to get EMP'd. British Hurricane going to have to play rather slowly now. As soon as that shield landed away from the sound barrier, they had to make something work. Numlock and JK Long went a little bit too aggressive, but Numlock get rezzed in the end. Jofi's doing a good job at actually finding these easy rezzes, getting members back in the fight rather fast. Jofi ends up going down, and now there's no healing available from British Hurricane, really. An EMP onto Shoes Money Crew might just end it all, though, as Bok and Sooner just run amok in the back line. Now they're back on the ball. They're trying to stall for some additional time. JK Low is up to at least 40% ult charge already and could stall for so much longer. Bok's already dead.
And so has Gustav returned to the fight. JK Low just going to take him down.
He turned him into a sheet of lasagna. Numlock's going to go down as well as Gustav enters the fray once again. What is going on? That EMP coming through from British Hurricane just did not work out whatsoever. Danner was back on the ball as well. I want to see if he's going to switch up. JK Low is doing just that now.
And you thought the only roadkill on this map came on the road. Nope. JK Law makes his own roads. British Hurricane going to go for a full swab up here with the exception of Numlocked, who will be sticking on that. Winston almost has that primal rage, but they don't have time to build up ultimate shores. They are only 60% away, so we're a minute away from Shoes Money Crew claiming this point.
Still they have Pulse Bomb though. Mao's has only got one ultimate for his team. Coalesce is building up rather fast as well. Mao's just needs to be able to stick Bok or Jofi here in the back line, but Bok has got the armor too from the armor pack. He does get the stick on, but lands on Happy Cool, absorbs most of the damage. Now Slur's using that Coalescence to get some additional healing and pressure in the front line. Mao's can't touch anybody though. He's going up against Moira, full goats, in fact, so he's not going to do hardly any damage and has to watch out for Danit. JK Low and Maus end up going down. Polly raining death from above and using the EMP onto 3 people. They managed to get at least one. Numlock falling Hurricane, but Pollitt can't follow that up with any additional damage.
He cannot indeed. Sooner still going to be his target, but has that personal barrier. Ooh, Barbecue losing his mech already.
Instantly dies. He had the sound barrier on him as well, but perfect focus fire from British Hurricane. Sooner's going to be hacked, but has the grab. He's going to grab everything off to the side of the point. No one can touch just yet. OT only just making it through, but Sooner goes in with the right clicks, and Happy-Cool finishes them off with a self-destruct. 99%, ticking over to 100, and we're going to a third map.
One explosion there. British Hurricane have finished their bombing run and will take us to University here on Oasis.
Well, that was close. I really hoped Hurricane would stick on that comp a little bit longer, but they just had to switch to 3-3 and OT just to have a clutch assemblers on the point. There was no way they could get back in time. It actually forced Zander to swat over to the ball in order to stall out for longer.
And speaking of Zander, he actually EMP'd twice there, either as he was dying or very close to death. And it seemed like Shoes Money were very good at positioning any aggressive positioning. Very good at punishing any aggressive positioning, which was being shown by Zander. He didn't get much value out of those EMPs. It seemed like Polly was getting a lot more value out of that ultimate because British Hurricane were targeting other people, and I think this may be an issue of timing for Zander. He may need to wait for an engagement from Shoes Money Crew so that their calling is a little bit less concise and a little bit less able to deal with that early engagement when they're already committing to another sort of resource-hungry fight.
All right, straight up 3-3 for both teams on University. And now the out team's coming a little bit.
Time for some educational content.
Numlock getting roundhoused upon. Got to be very careful. Although, look at Shoes Money Crew. Very, very aggressive in the back line. Numlock going extremely low. Polly is going to find the first blood. Happy-Cool's mech's going to go down as well. Barbecue making sure Yofi met the wall and stuck to it. Ends up taking him out as well. British Hurricane going to go for a rather quick reset. Point is only just unlocked, however, so it's not like they were accruing any extra percentage. So British Hurricane can take that one, go back to spawn, and go again.
Beautiful isolation there of Yofi. Barbecue knew exactly the pathing he was going to take, managed to get him into that wall, and then use the fusion cannons to drive him on down. Polly has got quite a bit of ultimate charge here, and he's going to be leading the charge. Won't actually get that whip shot, not the accuracy that he wanted, so will not get that Inspire proc for everyone, and will take a little bit longer to build up towards that all-important rally. Gustav, up in the air, going to be countered out by Joe.
Yeah, spot out rather quickly. Quite nice. You don't want your main tank booped into the rest, well, into the enemy team. It's not where he wants to be at all. Barbecue going extremely aggro. Well, used his thrust as extremely big bait. There's the Transcendence on top of the Graviton Surge. As Barbecue ends up going down, his mech and his small baby diva will end up falling. An instant grab actually from Happy-Cool, pretty big. British Hurricane just need to move themselves on the point now. That shield strength going extremely low. JK Lol didn't stand a chance. Numlock saving his shadow as well, making the most of their ultimates. They used the rally and the grab. That was all they needed to win the fight.
I think Gustav was trying to boop Numlock down into a pit, but actually booped him all the way over so he could just swing freely into everyone, including JK Lol. Didn't have to expend any speed boost or cooldowns to get over there at all in a flash. And now British Hurricane, they're going to be sitting pretty with 2 support ultimates. And of course, the Earth Shatter self-destruct. Not the usual combo. Usually you see the self-destruct combined with the Graviton to get everyone in the singular areas. So cooldown tracking is going to be what it's all about here for Happy-Cool and Barbecue, trying to make sure both shields and Messiahs are not available to protect any wayward teammates.
Well, they still have that grab coming up as well. British Hurricane doing a good job of farming grab rather quickly. There's the beat. The boot from Gustav to try and push Zander into the self-destruct. Didn't quite find anything. Sooner found himself, but at least he gets one. Slur and JK Low will end up going down, and now Numlock just cleaning Mouse up. Mouse is in a very tight position. Yeah, nice wraparound from Zander as well to finish off the kill. British Hurricane continue to hold.
And Shoes Money Crew there, they did invest both their sound barrier and their self-destruct in that particular fight, whereas British Hurricane didn't have to invest much at all. Seems like there was some attempt to use that sound barrier to get incredibly aggressive force positioning out of Shoes Money Crew, and it worked out in their favor. Mouse has the Graviton Surge ready to go, but so does Sooner. Once again, it's going to be all about cooldown tracking. Can you wait until the enemy Reinhardt shield is low, or until the Brigitte has used their repair pack, which is the main source of burst healing in these 3-3 compositions?
Rally's coming online very soon as well. There's the Graviton Surge from Sooner, as well as a Rally self-destruct on top as well. Gustav ends up going down. Shoes Money Crew throw out their own grab, but find absolutely nothing. A Transcendence is still going off from Bok. A very late Transcendence on top of a Graviton Surge is normally rather good for the team. You can sustain through it, plus the additional oncoming fire from Shoes Money Crew. 85% for British Hurricane, and they're playing up to Shoes Money Crew spawn.
That was a beautiful projected barrier there from Sooner, making sure that Numlock was not damaged as he was pinned against the wall by a JK Lol, who was isolated out on his own, allowing for the counter charge to deliver a huge amount of pain, and of course make sure Numlock had that Earth Shadow ready to go again. JK Lol here is going to have a lot of shield spam coming in towards him. They want to take out that shield and ensure that Numlock can hit the shadow.
Mouse playing so cheeky. Numlock lays down the shadow. 2 people hit the floor. Polly gets rounded on, but the problem is there's no additional follow-up. Jaco will perfectly place his shield in front of all the additional fire. They end up taking out Numlock as he went rather aggressive. A Graviton Surge thrown in by Suna. As self-destruct coming through from Shoes Money Crew isn't going to find all of anything as Barbecue ends up getting taken out. There are 2-3 people now trapped in the grab. They instantly get destroyed as Slur uses that Transcendence to try and keep themselves alive on the point. A rally from Dan, the perfect shield bash from Polly as well to keep himself from going down the point.
Keep himself afloat, but can't keep himself on the point, Jaws.
Oh, I thought he was going to go down the well. It was so close. British Hurricane, they were so narrowly in that fight. Shoes Money Crew was so close to actually continuing to contest. There were even people like flooding back on as well, but it was all too little too late. And Hurricane, they end up taking the first map.
Yeah, communication kind of broke down there at the end, unfortunately, for Shoes Money Crew. But like you said, there's some pretty individually impressive plays, like Polly with that shield bash, keeping himself up in the air, up on the point. Unfortunately, not on the point for long enough. A huge disengagement meant that overtime could tick down and that British Hurricane could complete the map.
Well, looking good for British Hurricane so far, 1-0 in the series. We're going to jump to a quick break, though. We'll be right back. Hey guys, welcome back. Shoes Money Crew versus British Hurricane is the match you're watching right now. British Hurricane off to a very good start. 1-0 in the series after taking Oasis 2-1. JK Lowell and the rest of Shoes Money Crew looking pretty good. Maybe they need to channel a little bit more of Legday. We'll have to wait and see. Iconvolt will obviously be our next map. It's not map choice this time, Harry. It is a set map pool, which does mean that teams can prep individually for these maps, which could mean a little bit of variation in comps when it comes down to it, because before, in previous seasons, we did have the loser pick the map, which did mean that other teams were not, it's much harder to prep for maps that you don't know that you're actually going to play. So in this instance, we could see a little bit more flex coming out from Hurricane like we saw on University.
And when we speak of prep, we've got to look at backroom staff, and both of these teams have maintained backroom staff from the previous 2018 Season 3. And Shoes Money Crew, that will be their head coach, Almost Panda, and the head coach for British Hurricane is previous former star player for French team Rogue, Nox, a very good strategist, once upon a time a shot caller as well for Team Rogue, so an incredibly respected player amongst all the eras, the aeons of competitive Overwatch. So we'll have to see if he's had some particular ideas about how British Hurricane are going to want to have played Iconvolt. And we'll have to see as well if Shoes Money Crew will be equally prepared with Almost Panda's leadership.
Well, the only small change of the coaching roster that has happened on Hurricane's side at least was Dream going over to Montreal Rebellion.
He's a new head coach.
He is indeed. Was analyst for British Hurricane last season. Now is the head coach. So moving upwards. Feels good. Feels very good. Although NA teams maybe can teach a little bit goes to them too. NA Contenders teams are getting very, very good at running 3-3. Although we have,
Atlanta
of course,
Academy especially.
Well, Harry, I just want to bring it up again. We have, of course, a 1-0 scoreline with EU versus NA.
And,
so
we'll
probably continue
NA are
that.
sort of 0-2 with show matches because they lost against Korea as well.
Exactly.
So versus Fusion University.
We'll continue that, Harry. We'll continue that trend this year. Don't worry.
Atlantic Showdown's coming up. Don't you forget that for those of you who have not read what's happening
NA want
in
to forget
2019.
right now.
Well, let's forget our little ramble. It's time to get into game. The door's going to open. It's going to be Shoes Money Crew on the offense here. Mouse is currently going out on that Sombra. We'll have to see if it's going to be an actual scout, if he's going to ping back after he's seen what British Hurricane are going to be packing and bring out that Saya. That's exactly what's going to happen. And now we're going to have the mirror match, 3-3 versus 3-3. We're going to have to see how Shoes Money Crew here are going to utilize their speed boost to get through this choke point unharmed.
Got to be careful, though, because Bok is just pummeling the front line. Polly takes a brief headshot, but he should be safe at the moment. Uh-oh. Hello, are you okay?
See you later, buddy.
Yeah, he died instantly. His shield was broken there as well because there was so much incoming fire from Suna. It's not only important to obviously build your grab up, right? But if you just pummel that shield in the front line, Numlock's going to have a severe advantage when it comes to shield health, which means you can pressure him out so much more. And Numlock was pretty much free to do whatever he wanted.
Polly ain't going to peek that. And also, when you look at the kill feed, you can see these micro-portraits next to kills. In that case, we did see both Daned and Bocket micro-portraited next to Numlock, taking out JK. That means that he had the Discord Orb. There was the Shield Bash stun there as well. So much mitigating factor coming in towards JK Lowell to try and shut down his movement, shut down his defensive capabilities as well.
They can do the same thing again, but Hafiko was actually in the back line. You could see him in that small health pack room, firing all those micro missiles, getting all that splash damage. Barbecue caught way out of position, was actually farmed up for a mech, and now Shoes Money Crew, they're completely split off from each other.
Numlock's going to get that repair pack. The burst healing coming through won't be available for a couple more seconds, though. Numlock's just going to not push his luck. He's going to get that additional armor, recharge his shield, and then take a re-engagement with all of the ultimates of British Hurricane and thus far accrued. But Shoes Money Crew incredibly close to some as well. Who's going to pull the trigger first, Jaws?
All right, equal on ults. JK Lowell 10% behind his own Shatter. Both have Graviton Surges, of course. Waiting for the other team to pull the trigger first, it seems. Rather cowardice as they do back off into the bar.
There's a tick.
Both Graviton Surges have been used. The tick has been acquired because the rest of Hurricane were in the back line.
Perfect.
Beautiful shadow onto Numlocked and a beat to follow that up as well. Shoes Money Crew are going to be able to clean the floor of British Hurricane, push them off the point, and eventually get the car moving.
Good pressure there, making sure they had control of the point. And that meant the British Hurricane had to move into their offensive line if they wanted to keep that point contested. Here, movement around the objective can be incredibly important. And while you should always consider that disengaging in the 3-3 versus 3-3 is an option so long as your Lucio has the speed boost, you should never find yourself in a position where you don't have a foothold on the point. It came down to Hafiko to try and fly over and keep that contested while the Graviton was active. But unfortunately, he did still give away the tick, and that means the rest of British Hurricane were forced into poor positions as well, where JK Lowell could hit the perfect shadow.
There's the beat. The self-destruct goes launched in by Shoes Money Drew, who didn't quite find anything, but that beat will help British Hurricane find at least 1 kill onto Polly. JK Lowell is going to go down as well as British Hurricane regain control of the cart. It will slowly inch his way back very soon. Sooner chases Mouse up to the spawn. The British Hurricane now playing up to the spawn. They got Graviton Surge, so they can do this, of course. Plus that self-destruct as well.
Grab for grab is available. I would like to see JK Lowell use that Earth Shadow before the grab comes out, so you can get that cyclical ult generation going on by swinging into the Graviton Surge thereafter.
He's being rather sneaky here. He wants to get that Matrix out. Remember, 2-second cooldown now, obviously on the Matrix. Although Slur takes out Bok off to the sidelines. Bok, you've got to be a little bit more careful. Graviton Surge comes in. Happy Cool launches that self-destruct on top. Now Shadow to stop people from advancing, but it's not going to matter because Mouse is already dead. Barbecue's mech's destroyed, and now Shoes Money Crew trying to clutch at a semblance of a fight. Danit does end up going down, but the Shatter from Numlock straight into JK Lowell's shield just pushes them forward, and Slur manages to get the kill.
You thought it was in JK Lowell's head, but JK Lowell, you ain't got nothing on the tank today.
He may have been a console pleb before, mate, but he is right up on your keyboard and right up in your tank's face. Havikul's going to go down as well. Sooner just killing himself to reset quicker, and Shoes Money Crew regain control of that card.
I'm not going to be in team chat like, sorry guys, dropped my controller, didn't mean to walk right there. Mouse has the advantage once again on the Graviton Surge, but Sooner has basically caught up, and British Hurricane are going to have a lot of mitigating factors here. They're going to have both a Transcendence and possibly a Sound Barrier as well, and having the advantage in that Transcendence can mean they can both force a fight or enforce that things have to be expended, like Polly.
Yeah, Polly was, might have been out of position. Ever so slightly, mate. So was Mouse, who actually gets booped off by Yofi. Okay, British Hurricane right now with a big boy flank. Doesn't manage to get control back of the cart again.
Big charge.
Yeah. When you get stunned like that, you're really just sitting duck for anything.
So what I want to see here is how Sooner utilizes high ground, because one of the deviating factors in Overwatch League between the good Zayas and the average Zayas is their use of high ground. You look at the best Zayas like Carpe and Sinatra, and they're always utilizing these little places where you have to invest resources to move them away from high ground so that those resources aren't available elsewhere. And look at Havikul right now.
Nice Graviton Surge. Havikul didn't manage to eat it, but Transcendence will at least stop all that damage coming through. Numlock having to play a shield and just hop back for the moment. The beat did come through as well from British Hurricane, as well as that rally, so they got that additional armor as well to fight with.
That was very passive from British Hurricane. The second they got the beat, they sort of backed off. Couldn't really leverage that. Now Gustav has the advantage. He can pull the trigger on this.
Mouse did actually throw the Graviton Surge in, but that self-destruct is actually British Hurricanes. Barbecue is going to find a kill onto Sooner. With Bok using that Transcendence in that fight, they got very little healing now as he gets rounded upon as well. Danit is going to get chased on out by Mouse. In fact, he finds a double kill. That will be the mech falling 2 of Hafikul. He's going to go down rather swiftly as well. Shoes Money Crew, they still got a couple of ults to work with, but 60 seconds to crack the castle doors.
It was a really interesting interaction there. Hafikul actually tried to throw out his mech to intercept the charge of JK Lowell, who wanted to charge through and remove Numlock's shield by charging him into the wall. But by putting the mech in his way, he actually forced JK Lowell to catch that with the charge instead, so we couldn't apply the CC to the main tank. Unfortunately, people still died to JK Lowell's self-destruct.
Numlock checking his corners. Graviton Surge comes. Oh my goodness. Yofi was actually in front of Numlock's shield right there, not where you want to be. Danit goes extremely low as well as the beat comes through from Shoes Money Crew. Everybody's forced into that small portion of the wall. You can't receive the AoE healing from your healers if you're around there, unfortunately. And that'll be Shoes Money Crew gaining some additional time. 1 minute 50 now to push through the castle.
Right now, British Hurricane, they need some semblance of stability. This conglomerate of tanks really needs to build up that ultimate bank, but right now, Sooner looking to be the one who makes that happen. Currently 10% away from the Graviton Surge, but Mouse is up ahead of him. We didn't really praise Mouse's Zaya that much last season, but he really has come into his own right here.
JK Lowell getting booped around by Yofi and Numlock. Hammer does a little bit of movement when you do get hit with it, of course. There's a Graviton Surge. 3, 4, 5 people trapped up. Eats and grab by Barbecue as well. The self-destruct didn't find anything, but Hafikals definitely did. Barbecue's going to fall. Shoes Money Crew still marching forward. Numlock's in a very bad position. Can't really help but go down there rather fast. Polly finds himself the 3rd kill of the fight in British Hurricane. They got 1 more to go before Shoes Money Crew sink this one home.
More cool Diva tech there. Barbecue actually waited to use his self-destruct, but actually, after he flew up, he bathed Sooner in that defense matrix because he thought that Barbecue was about to use the self-destruct. So he threw out the grab, and plus, he ate the grab and then threw out the self-destruct. A great mix-up of tempo to really confuse the enemy's Zaya.
Speaking of tempo, that's 2 rallies going off. No one's going down just yet. Although Barbecue went extremely low. Got to be a little bit more careful. Hafikul leveraging that high ground once again. Sooner just trying to build up towards that grab.
Big
but look
shatter.
at that shatter. Build up way sooner by Numlock. Easy team fight clean up. Bok finding 3 kills. 25 seconds now remain for Shu to touch the point.
Gonna have to see if there are any staggers coming through here. You can see Yofi right on the right-hand side right now. May attempt for a cheeky boot, but he's gonna rejoin his team right now. Just having a bit of a scout, trying to see where Shu's Money Crew are coming from. They are gonna have to make a beeline for the point, but they do have the tools to make their attack useful. They have a Graviton Surge, but so does Suna. Suna can actually lock them away from the car, potentially. Gustav may have to make his own way there. You can see he's up on the side.
Oh, the Transcendence to touch. Okay, so now they don't have this for the Graviton Surge. Speaking of grabs, there's the self-destruct right on top of it. JKLO's shield only just survives. It does get shield slam, but in the meantime, Shu actually threw out their own grab to deny any aggression from British Hurricane. A shadow lands on Happy Cool and 4 members are piled on top of him. Yofi in the back line trying to just cause some disruption onto JK Lowell, but it's just pushing him forward into British Hurricane's back line. Polly finds 2 kills. The rest of British Hurricane are now going to have to stall and stagger themselves on this point to try and clutch at this ground.
Shu's Money Crew in control. They have the self-destruct to lock down any entrances potentially, but nothing else in their arsenal.
Couple of meters left. Shu's Money Crew are going to get the full completion. In OT, however, British Hurricane, they do have a couple of clear win conditions, but that last-ditch attempt at touching the car forced them to use the Transcendence, but the British Hurricane just could not make that grab work.
So that entire attack was working because of Mouse. And it wasn't because of a Graviton Surge. It was because Mouse got a flanking kill onto Numlocks because JK Low desperately quickly got his Earth Shatter. He was booped midway through the cast by British Hurricane, which meant that it was a longer cast thanks to Yofi, so it could be accurately predicted. So that meant the Numlocks could hold up a shield and easily try and block away that area of effect from Happy Cool and the remainder of British Hurricane as well. But Mouse, in some clairvoyant moment, jumped on forward, got behind, used his high energy to take down Numlocked wholesale, meaning that he either had to turn his shield to avoid the damage coming through from Mouse, or he would die. And, well, he died trying to block that shatter, and because he went down as the shatter hit the remainder of his team. So, good flank there from Mouse, really saved the team fight for Shu's Money Crew when it looked like they were in dire straits.
Different composition on the defense. They're going with the Arnett instead of the Zen. Can obviously use the high ground, plus the bio grenade is just so effective at denying not only space, but you got to think about the things that can cleanse the bio grenade. More often than not, it's the Xayah shields. You got to either eat the nade or cleanse your main tank. If Slur gets any one purpled, they are as good as dead when you face a Goats comp who can just speed towards you with the Lucia.
Yeah, Slur, he is going to, like you said, he's going to be quite vulnerable to being sped upon by Lucio, as is anyone else who is anti-heal. Not much movement on the Ana, but the same can be said of a Zenyatta, though you'd argue Zenyatta has a few more deterring tools in those Discord and Orbs of Destruction, but for now, Slur will have the advantage in terms of primary healing.
Not only that, Nano Boost builds up so fast as well. If you get in people's face like this also, you can just smash that grenade down on the floor, splash on your teammates to receive additional healing for them, plus get anybody in the front line purple.
No value from Sleep Dart right there, and you've got to remember that the Anti-Nade also can catch on any of the large hitboxes of your team. Happy Cool going to make the flank here and control the high ground, putting them in a corner, Jaws.
I love Happy Cool right now, just looking at Slur, waiting for that grenade to come out. It landed on Numlock, he wasn't able to eat it, just meant JK Lowell could just jump straight on him, just no fear from the Reinhardt main. And Shu's Money Crew will hold the point for the time being, and now Slur earning himself a nano boost. He's got a couple of things to combo with it as well.
Shu's Money Crew there making a great disengagement. The second that Happy Cool took the high ground and they didn't have the resources to really challenge that, decided, okay, so we want to make sure that JK Lowell only can shield in one direction, and to do that he needs to be facing both Happy Cool and British Hurricane. So we're going to back off, we're going to give him a point, and JK Lowell will get maximum value out of his shield. That's going to give us time to make the re-engagement that we want to make. Mao is going to be hiding out here, feeling incredibly sneaky, going to be trying to get us cheeky one over on British Hurricane.
Oh, it was easy, mate. And then you can go straight on in. Bio grenade not quite landing, but on landing on JK Lowell nonetheless. The nano boost as well. I don't think that was even needed, to be honest with you.
Maybe not needed, but definitely a message was sent to British Hurricane, who, remember, are currently in the lead on the series. Shu's Money Crew want to even it up, and they are in a great position to do so now. British Hurricane, they have lost about half of their time bank, but have many tools coming up right now. They're going to have potentially all 6 ultimates by the engagement of this fight.
Ah, the beautiful sound of two Briggs ulting at the same time.
Everyone's rallied.
Does get slept up, but swiftly woken up. There was no way he's going to stay sleeping for too long. Numlock does have that shadow trying to push past the front line of JK Lol, but he's got his shadow of his own. JK Lol counter shadow, but perfectly predicted by Numlock, protecting the rest of his team. They're going to receive the beat as well as that healing nade, and look at the beautiful self-destruct just stop the rest of British Hurricane jumping on them. It didn't matter for JK Lol or Polly though. They end up going down in the end. No Zenyatta Transcendence will stop the onslaught of British Hurricane. They managed to cap the first point.
Oh, Numlock's locked in that overclock right now. We got the juice on JK Lol, hitting that shadow as a couple of people decide to stray beyond the shield before they get a fast one over on British Hurricane. And then JK Lol thought, well, I guess I better protect my team. Slams it down, but ult tracking pretty easy. If you know JK Lol's been swinging into a grab of Nano Boost, I think he's going to have ult. So going to try and shield out that counter shadow. Worked exactly as they would hope. And British Hurricane also managed to maintain 3 ultimates for this upcoming fight.
Please be careful, Mouse. You almost got one shot by a Zen. Very deadly.
Don't test Bucket.
Do not test Bucket. And Polly, the same. Just be careful. Look at that. Booped instantly by Yofi. Self-destruct into the back line. Doesn't quite find anything. But with your main tank gone, the rest of the team is pretty much as good as dead. British Hurricane are going to win that fight. There you go. Slur donating himself to the payload, who has switched off the Ana, of course, now on the Zenyatta instead.
You might think that Havical didn't get a huge amount of value out of that self-destruct, but in fact, because of JK Lol easily falling early, that did mean that everyone from the side of Shoes Money Crew was forced to move forward into the sightlines of Bucket, and they had no primary shield to protect them. So it was more of a displacement and zoning self-destruct as well. So there was a lot of value to be gained out of that from Havical, but now he won't have it to combine with Suna's grab.
Oh, that boot. Are they going to get someone? No, Mao's just managed to get back on the playing field. 3 people caught in the grab. Numlock is going to swing on away on JK Lol. Mao, Slur, only 8% away. That was their win con in that fight. But because he switched from the Ana so late, Harry, does mean he's not going to have these rolling transcendences in these fights. Yeah,
he's going to have to catch up with Bucket now. 1 or 2 orbs will do it, but Bucket's got an advantage in that he can just bring this out whenever he wants. Doesn't need to hit anything first. Mao's going to have to try and make something happen with this Graviton Surge.
Oh, Polly's already dead. That was a nice pin by Numlock. They're going to push themselves onto the point. A Graviton Surge is going to met with the Transcendence from British Hurricane. No bomb to be used by Havical. Did use it in the last fight, remember. Self-destruct for Barbecue as it's launched in the air. Almost killing Yofi. I think it did.
No, he's on.
He's on. It's a Lucio. He's back on the point. It's no worries. Bok finds 2 kills. Perfect ult management from British Hurricane. They got a couple to use. Well, make that 4, in fact, use in the next fight. Shoes Money and crew invested so much. 5 ults were used.
Polly taken down twice there by Numlock. Polly may want a Cracker, but he definitely doesn't want a Crusader because Numlock's delivering it far too fast to handle. And look at this gargantuan time bank from British Hurricane. For 3rd point of Eichenwald, they do have 3 minutes and 13 seconds. Gustav here is going to have to get maximum value out of a Sandbar. It's the only thing available for Shoes Money Crew. He's going to spend it now, Jaws.
JK Lol is wavering, but with that beat, he doesn't have to any longer. Swings at Numlock, manages to get the kill. British Hurricane throw out that Graviton Surge and trap 3 in. They managed to trade 2 for 2, and Mao's going extremely low as well, and Bok, the sniper, firing down the long corridor and finds a kill. A self-destruct from Havical to find the remake as Danid, running rampant in the front line, manages to find 2.
Clutch target calling there from Bucket. The Discord orb was exactly where you would want it to be, and he has yet another Transcendence ready to go. Polly can try and drive everyone forward now with that rally, of course, and JK Lol can try and clutch it out with an Earth Shatter, but right now they need to just be on the point.
Win condition for Shoes Money Crew. They got 2 tank ultimates coming up fast, but they have to bait out Bok's Transcendence.
Now they do. Mao's going to be frontlining right now, going to try and relieve some pressure from JK Lol's shield. Does not want to get easily shadowed by Numlock. He's looking for it right now. They're getting cheeky, Jaws.
Look at this bait from Numlock. He's like, lower your shield, JK Lol. I've got you in my sights. Just try me, please. Does get booped away. JK Lol does lay down the shadow, but it only gets 1, met with a Transcendence. Barbecue manages to eat a grab as well as soon as a Graviton Surge from Shoes Money Crew mixed with the self-destruct ends up ending the team fight. British Hurricane 3 meters away from completing.
That's what was needed, but it was expensive. Stability can be a little bit tough on the Pocket, but Jaws, and it certainly was for Shoes Money Crew, investing quite a bit right there, including JK Lol's Earth Shadow, which he's quickly got back. Barbecue and Mouse's ultimates. But here, Slur now has that Transcendence ready to go, and he can definitely avoid any incoming damage onto JK Lol here. And of course, JK Lol, he knows now that Numlock does not have that Shadow available, so he can swing more freely while the Transcendence is up. You don't want to be a Reinhardt with a Transcendence behind you up against an Earth Shadow, because it's so easy when you're swinging away to just get caught with your shield down.
Smart rotation for British Hurricane to stop all that incoming poke. There's both rallies coming out once again. Barrier for British Hurricane as well as they march onto JK Lowell. He gets booped into the center of British Hurricane, but they can't quite find the kill. Answering beat from Shoes Money Crew as well, but
that is a
answering
big
shadow from Numlocked sends Ford to the ground. Thank you very much. Shoes Money Crew are going to have to scramble to get back on the point now.
Oh, they're Numlocked to the floor right now. Barbecue going to be chased down. You've got to throw out that repair pack. Can't afford to lose anyone this late in the fight. Sooner, ready to lock it on down again with that Graviton Surge. Can't be eaten this time.
Oh, Grav comes out. You can't get it. There's the self-destruct. JK Lowell doesn't manage to block it, and 2 kills for Happy Cool. 39 seconds in the time bank. They need to clear 2 more members off of the points. A Grav is eaten actually by Happy Cool as soon as Mouse came out of spawn. Couple of meters remained, and British Hurricane will end up completing.
Numlocked res JK Lowell like a book, but so did Sooner. Sooner blocked the entirety of JK Lowell's shadow with his personal barrier, and that is maximum value out of that particular cooldown, because also when you block the shadow, you do get a little bit of charge as well. You block 50 damage, so you get a, what's it, 10 charge, I imagine, for 50 damage?
Worth it to me.
Not bad at all, especially when it saves the remainder of your team, and then everyone's like, hey guys, we're going forward after this. No, we're not.
We're dead.
We're dead.
Sorry guys, go next round. 1 minute in the bank for Shoes Money Crew. British Hurricane.
1 minute 30.
A very cool 1 minute 30. Got 30 extra seconds, but that could mean the difference between 1 or 2 pushes, so a little bit of time always matters.
It can also mean the difference between an educated push and an uneducated push. It does mean that you have the time to run out with a Sombra, be like, hey, what are the enemy running? If there's only like a minute and a half here, they could bring out something a little bit cheesy, try with a couple of DPS maybe, and then be better educated, or better informed rather, as to how you are going to be dealing with what the enemy is offering. Of course, Shoes Money Crew can try that as well, but they will be cutting it incredibly close with the time bank of 1 minute that they have. And for those of you who are unaware of how this particular rule set works, everyone needs at least a minute to attack. So because Shoes Money Crew had 0 seconds, but because British Hurricane had under a minute, a cursory minute was given to Shoes Money Crew, and an additional minute was given to British Hurricane, so everything's fair.
It's all fair in love and war. Shoes Money Crew, feeling the love right now. It's from the fans, and they've got a lot out there. They definitely did last season, of course. That run SMC hashtag still prevalent. Numlocked. Oh, JK Lowell. Oh,
you got to run SMC.
That's not where you want to be. Happy Cool does get demeched, so that's not too bad. They do end up killing Polly as well. They're going to try and go for a quick reset, but nice boot. Wait, where did he go? He's in the stratosphere. No, he's back to spawn. He's all right.
There's no kill box in the sky, as far as they're very glad for. Sooner does have quite a bit of energy to work with here, though, and also has that projected barrier if Numlock wants to get a little bit more...
20 seconds, Harry.
Yeah, a little bit more risky. 20 seconds. They are going to just disengage now to a point. Don't want to give away any of that 3% to Shoes Money Crew, who are going to be forced to pay in blood for every single step they take now into the crosshairs of British Hurricane.
10 seconds now, and Mouse is very far up on that charge above Suno. He's only at 56%. They're going to put themselves on the point, at least try and contest it for now. Numlock with the big shadow, though. The big boy onto people. Sooner finishes it up with a Transcendence as well from Bok. No percent was acquired from Shoes Money Crew, and the best they can hope for right now is a draw.
JK Lowell just got evicted by Jofi. Like, no, I'm going to send you over there. The rest of your team are getting sent down to the ground. Some great communication there from a British Hurricane front and back line, being able to coordinate on how these shadows work. And this is one of the things that really can set aside a good 3-3 from a great 3-3. But after the Brigitte shield bash nerf, where you can no longer bash straight through a Reinhardt shield, what other mitigating factors do you have that can try and ensure that your shadow's going to hit? One of the main ones will be a Lucio boop to displace the enemy shield and reveal an unsuspecting enemy team. That's exactly what happened to Shoes Money Crew there, who are now going to be fighting for the draw, as this is an unwinnable scenario for them with 0% accrued.
Yofi and Gustav have been very aggressive at putting the Reinhardts in awkward situations, especially on that first push, instantly ending the team fight via 1 boot from Yofi. That's all that they needed. As soon as you push that Reinhardt into the enemy team, there's no way you can get healing to him either, because more often than not, the enemy Reinhardt is going to have that shield up, so the aura healing can't even reach him.
Yeah, Assassin Lucio definitely is becoming the meta at the moment, as we like to call it. We saw this a lot in North American Contenders trials. Faz from Phase 2, notably, quite an audacious Assassin Lucio going deep into enemy lines. And you, as a team, have to decide whether you want to punish the Lucio itself, or if you want to punish the team that is currently without their Lucio due to the more adventurous nature of the Assassin Lucio.
Well, Shoes Money Crew still feeling rather adventurous on their Ana on the defense. Remember that the Zenyatta was kind of the thing that he needed to stop that grab damage and people swinging into it, but sticking with the Ana, they're going to have to hit some fat nades in order to make these team fights work.
Danny currently scouting out on the Sombra level to see if he wants to stick on it. No. I'm not going to be a lot of damage there, likely from a... I'm not sure what it was from. I was going to say from a right click, but it seems like we just combined fires. Of course, there's no Zenyatta on the field. I do forget for a moment that Zenyatta isn't always here.
Yeah, Arnis does pretty good too. And Nano Boost, obviously, like I said before, builds up rather quickly. So they'll be all right. 1 minute now remain, equaling Shu's time bank from before. And they still haven't made a push onto the point.
Well, we do have the advantage in terms of trying to take down these tanks because of that Discord Orb. It's going to mean JK Lowell's in a lot of trouble. And you can see Hafikul once again claims the high ground.
It's just free. Hafikul is getting unpunished for this as well. Barbecue goes low, and look,
he's
JK
right behind the shield.
Is so close to going down. The shadow from Numlock instantly hits JK Lowell. His shield didn't stand a chance. Numlock finding the 5k, giving the 6k, please.
Oh,
there we
lock
go.
it down because Numlock's here.
Starting the season off strong. British Hurricane taking Eichenwald.
Oh, Hafikul just dropping off the high ground there. He's right inside JK Lowell's shield, like, howdy, neighbor. How's it going? Just going to give you a bit of fusion cannon. He turns to the shield, and Numlock's like, gotcha.
Got you in my sights. He's not quite Soldier. Numlock's perfectly building up the shadow once again ahead of JK Lowell. Maybe the nerves are getting to him just a bit. It is 2-0 in the series, but Shu's Money Crew can find a potential reverse sweep. And we got to say, this is actually kind of what I wanted to see a little bit more of. Was this Pharah, Sombra, this triple DPS comp coming out from Hurricane. It's good to see that they're able to flex up a lot more, because last season they were very cemented in 3-3.
Yeah, previous iterations of a Hurricane roster, we pretty famously said that almost 4 of their members could play Pharah at any given time between like Kib, Hafikul, Nesh, and Co. So it's good to see that they're going back to their roots, putting Hafikul on that particular hero. But I've got to admit, I don't blame JK Love for what happened in that last fight. He had to be playing a lot more timid than Numlock had to, due to the presence of the Discord Orb on him, whereas for Numlock, it was like, oh, I guess the main threat to me is the Bardic Grenade, and if I get Bardic Grenaded, I can just have a shield to cleanse it off me. So really, it wasn't JK Love's fault, just couldn't deal with the support discrepancy between the two.
Yeah, in that matchup too, like you said, if JK Lowell does get naded, yeah, he receives a lot of additional healing, but there's so much more coming out from the Zenyatta in that instance. I like the idea, but you've got to hit a big nade every single fight, and then you've got to speed onto it, because otherwise you're not falling behind on healing, but just the additional damage that the Zenyatta is providing, not only by him throwing out orbs of destruction, but the Discord Orb that is getting applied to the main tank or any of the off tanks as well.
And also there's the additional factors that can mitigate an incoming an incoming value from a Bardic Grenade, such as an enemy Reinhardt shield, a defense matrix, a Brigida shield, or even just Zaya bubbles.
And that was all Hafikul as well, just taking the high ground so quickly. We'll see if Shu's Money Crew can find the reverse sweep. We're going to jump to a quick break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.